My name is Cliff Freeman. I'm a third year PhD student studying math education and at Wheelock. I'm also the director of STEM programs at an organization called the Young People's Project. And today we are going to talk about how I think about broadening participation in STEM and in computing. How I think about broadening participation in STEM and computing, and particularly how we do that at the Young People's Project. So in 2007 and then revisited in 2010, there was a report that was submitted. It's called "Rising Above the Gathering Storm." It's a good read. It's a long read, but you should read it. And the central question of the report was this one here: what are the top 10 actions in priority order that federal policymakers could take to enhance the science and technology enterprises so that the United States can successfully compete, prosper, and be secure in the global community of the 21st century? And so you wouldn't believe what they recommended as the first item. Number one, it was simple: increase America's talent pool by vastly improving K through 12 science and mathematics education. So in my view, that includes computer science. In the view of YPP, math education is right up its alley. And so right under that recommendation, well, so how do we get there? It was the output, in my mind, is 10 million minds, but the output was annually recruiting 10,000 teachers, give them scholarships to major in STEM disciplines, to eventually lead them into teaching professions. So that's 10,000 yearly. So that eventually 10 million minds could be, impacted in computer science and other math and STEM disciplines. So at the Young People's Project, we sort of we sort of try to answer a similar question. And this question is from Bob Moses. It reads, what kind of math learning experiences do young people need in order to achieve full citizenship, a good career, and the best chance for a quality life in the 21st century? And so what's the subtext of all of this is, how does this happen for the most marginalized students, Black students, women, and all the communities that basically been historically excluded from STEM disciplines. And so if you can see here on the right, left, wherever you are looking at this from, this is a young person, his name is Sharif, teaching another young person computer science at an event which we call STEM pop-up coding boot camps. And so I titled this talk "A Radical Solution." And the radical solution includes an organization that trains and hires young people to teach other young people, in particular YPP mathematics. And when I joined YPP, we started to think about how to do computer science as well. So how does the mathematics and computer science talk with one another? And as it relates to me, how can computer science be a on-ramp to doing the mathematics? As we know, if you're trying to do computer science in high school, you have to first show that you can do the math. So we're trying to flip it. So this was me in 2010. This is a young person, me, teaching other young people. And then we move into hiring also college students who serve as near peer sort of supervisors of these high school students. And they serve as, the builders for them. And then this is me now. I like to say my job is more boring now because I'm not doing a lot of the teaching. But I'm helping to help design the programs that happen. So this is an example of a program that helps to answer this question: how do we broaden participation in STEM, but in particular computer science? This is an elective class where young people, high school students, learn the computer science from in the neighborhood college students with a teacher of record at their school. And then they go out into their neighborhood and teach other young people some computer science. And so this group that I taught, they taught hundreds of students. It was about 25 of them here all the way in, also in DC. So young people have, for me, shown that they have an important role to play. They can have an important role to play in broadening participation in STEM, particularly computer science. In the last slide, this is a National Science Foundation supported research study that was awarded to us in 2020. And then I didn't know how big it was to be a PI on a research project now as a student. It's a big thing, right? And so I can't talk about it much, but the award number is there, and we're getting the paper out. But basically what we're doing here is we're taking all of what we learned from how to build capacity, and we're trying to put young people, college students, into classrooms with mathematics teachers so that they can help co-facilitate integrated math and computer science into those classrooms. And if you can see in the picture here, that's Sharif, many years later, about 3 years later, him actually training teachers to how to do this in their classroom. So young people have a role to play in helping to build capacity in computer science. Thanks.